Hi, I know that there are a lot of mask videos out there and some of the tutorials are fantastic. I've been watching a lot and I've made a whole lot of masks, and so I just wanted to give you my version of making these accordion style masks, and they have a spot for a nose wire and they also have a place to put in a filter. So let's go. So I start by taking an 8 by 8.5 inch square, ironing it over twice to create a hem like this, and then I just take it and do a straight stitch down. From there I take two pieces, I put the hem side at the bottom, put them right sides together, and I stitch across the top. Now I've used a contrasting thread just so that you can see the seam line, but if you like you can match the thread to your fabric. The next step is either taking your elastic or your ties and attaching it to the mask. So what I do is I just poke it inside, and what you want to make sure of is that it's flush with this seam right here. Jenny Doan has a really good in-depth video about how she puts her elastics on and her ties, and I do it the exact same way. So I'm just going to take it like this, put it under my needle, and you don't have to do forward backward stitch, you can just get to about here, just keep your needle down, reach in and grab that piece of elastic, and you're going to take it and line it with your bottom piece right here. Now you can choose to use pins or wonder clips. Because it's such a short distance, I kind of just pinch it like this, and that kind of keeps it exactly where I need it to be. So then you're just going to finish this off, and there you can do the same thing on the other side. And I should mention that I'm using a 7-inch elastic, 7-inch long piece of elastic. So you stop about here, keep your needle down, reach in, make sure your elastic's flat if you're using a flat elastic so it's not twisted or anything like that. And again, you're just going to put it here, put this over top, try to make it as lined up as you can. Finish your seam and do a little back stitch just to reinforce the elastic. There we go. From there you're going to take it and you're going to turn it right side out. And what's nice is that the elastics kind of help you pull out those corners. And you just want to kind of finger press from the inside and make sure that it is as nice and flat of a seam as you can get it. You can do this by finger pressing, pulling on the elastic, and then you go all the way around, just like that. And then a lot of people are getting really creative with getting a better fit out of these accordion style masks. And so the easiest way I find to get a nose wire attachment put in is just eyeballing from about 1.5 inches to 2 inches in. You're going to put your needle down, do a little back stitch, just like that, and then you're just going to go across and stop at about 1.5 to 2 inches, and then do a little back stitch. And from there you see that you have a little spot to put in a wire, pipe cleaner. You just have to remember that before you put it in the wash, you have to take it out. Okay, now for the final step of this, what you're going to do are basically 2 seams down, and this is where you do the pleats. Now some people have a very exact science and they pin things and they measure. I've been making these en masse, so I've been eyeballing it, so I kind of just take it and pinch it like this. Now you can use a wonder clip, you can use pins, but you definitely want to use something just to make sure that your pleats, are nice and even on both sides before you try to stitch them down, because you don't want to have to take them out and try it again. So I'm just going to do this, and I'm going to create 3 pleats, and I'll be right back. Now for this next step, you're going to take a single seam and you are going to close in those pleats. So I'm going to just put this here, take my wonder clip out, and you're going to do a little back stitch just to reinforce. And you can take your time doing this just to make sure that the pleats don't shift on you. And of course, whenever you have to move things around, you just want to make sure that your needle stays down so that nothing changes on you. And you go to the bottom. Now what I do, because people do like to put a filter pocket in here, is I keep my needle down, I pivot my mask this way, and then again I go in about 1.5 to 2 inches. And then I do a little back stitch. And I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. And that's it. So as you can see, I've stitched both sides, and what that does is create a little spot, so when you tuck your filter in, it kind of keeps it locked in there for you. And again, if somebody wants to put a nose wire inside, all they have to do is turn the mask inside out and then just slide it in through that little pocket right there. So you can just slide a little piece of wire through, and then you can bend it to the shape of your face and get a better fit. So I hope you found this video helpful, and if you did, please give it a thumbs up, share it, and most importantly, stay safe.